Okay, it is honest review time. I bought the book. Don't buy the book. And that's the bottom line. If you want a review, don't buy the book. If you want to know more, keep watching. Okay, so why you shouldn't buy the book. When I was a first year teacher, one of my coworkers gave me this site, firstyearteachers.com. I had bookmarked it. It's been in my bookmarks for years now. I still was a alternative certification teacher. I had not received any of my certifications, so this is an excellent um, resource for um, several tests that you can take. He's got a lot, there's a couple here. Um, and so I used it back then, and I used other things. But over time, I've gotten several certifications at this point, and I learned, hey, I don't necessarily have to go and spend this kind of money because it's not cheap. I could just buy the books from Walmart, not Walmart, from Amazon, and study on my own and do the thing. Okay. Well, now I've come to the Computer Science 241 test, and this test is hard, very hard. And I know computer science. um, and so I was like, oh, now his resource is $100. I don't see, yes, he tells you he gives you great information. This is the guy that has great information. He tells you to do. I would use this site instead of buying the book. Okay, I have gotten his study guide. It costs $100. So I don't know if it says it here, but I know when you click on the link for buying it, he charges you $100. I don't directly see where he says that here, but anyway, okay, yeah, that's how much the test costs, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna spend $100 on this study guide. I'm gonna just buy it off Amazon. It was, whatever the book cost. I think it was like $25 at the time. And I've been studying, and I used the book, and the first time around, that book does not prepare you for the test. It is no way preparing you for the test. If you do not know computer science at all and you're trying to study to get this certification, you're already behind the eight ball, like majorly. I wouldn't even recommend doing that. You should know computer science. You should really know computer science, because this test is so hard that it requires expert level understanding. Okay, this study guide will prepare you, but even though I've used this study guide for my second test, I still didn't pass. Okay, you really need to get this study guide, read the Think Java book, practice on boot.dev. You need to know coding inside and out. It needs to be like a second language that you're fluent in, and you're not getting tripped up, because the test is so hard. Lots of pseudocode, lots of logic tests. Bottom line, go to First Year Teachers, get this study guide, study your butt off, because it is a very hard test. The resources on Amazon are not going to do it for you. They're going to be a waste of money, and you're not going to be prepared. When you see this study guide, that is what the test looks like. I spent money on the book. I spent money on this guide. I've now failed the test twice, and I have to take it again. Okay, so I am like $400 in already. Okay, so I'm looking forward to this stipend to get my money back. Okay, but I'm only going to get $500 on top of that. So you can do it the hard way. And, I didn't know what I know now. And there's nobody out there saying it. That's why I'm making this video. Don't buy the book. Get this study guide. Practice your butt off. Now, even the study guide is incomplete, and I can do a whole video on answering all the questions that are not answered. Like, there are some blanks, and I understand why he did what he did. Copyright reasons, legal reasons, okay. And the study guide does prepare you. I definitely went up 20 points since the first time I took the test, and now I fully understand what I have to do to pass. If you want another video where I go through this study guide and show everything, and show you my studying and show you the answers, and we work through the problems and create like an actual education video for passing this test, you're going to have to contact me in YouTube or TikTok and specifically ask for that, and then I'll make that video, because I'm not going to waste my time making a long video that nobody's going to watch. Somebody has to, at least one person has to say they want it and that they're going to watch it and they're going to use it for me to take my time doing it. But honest review right off the bat, don't waste your time buying the book. Get this study guide. It's a super hard test. This is not an exaggeration. This is probably the hardest test I've ever taken. Definitely to become certified in teaching, but probably in the course of my whole life as well. Because I've never hardcore studied for a test and still not passed, and now have to realize, okay, I'm going to have to breathe this stuff to make it happen. And I'm telling you, that's what you're going to have to do. You have to breathe this stuff to make it happen. All right, that's the end of that video. Good luck.